Alright guys, so I don't typically make these types of videos, like sit down videos, I don't really have ever done that. But today I saw a video earlier about things that someone had never done before that were really odd. Like that people would just go like, what, you've never done that before? That type of stuff. And I thought it would be really fun to do like an equestrian version, because there are some things that I've never done with my horses that people are like, what, really, you've never done that? And I'm just like, no, I've never done that. So these, I got like 8 things here that I have never done with my horses, and a lot of them are pretty common stuff that I feel like most people do, but I just haven't. So the first thing is, I have never stood on top of my horses. I see pictures of people, like my friends, all the time standing on their horses' backs, and I've just never done that. Honestly, my horses would probably freak out if I did that, but I've just never had an interest in doing that. I don't get the jumped bareback. So fun fact, I'm actually not a very good bareback rider. I'm okay at it, but like I'm not that great at it, and I don't do it very much because when I ride, most of the horses I ride are like my training horses, like horses that I'm working with, so I'm not gonna ride them bareback. And so like I'm just not very good at it. Like I hardly ever ride bareback, and I see people jumping bareback all the time, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Or barrel racing bareback and all that type of stuff. I'm like, given my horses chemicals, I was at a barn one day and this lady came up to me and she was like, it was at a barn I work at, and she was like, my horse in her stall, do not touch her feed bucket. Or all the horses have like a labeled can that they put their grain in so you can prep the grain for like the afternoon. She's like, do not touch her grain, do not touch her feed bucket. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. And I was just like, why? And supposedly, I think it's called like Regimate or something, Regimate. It's a chemical that causes, or it can cause, female infertility and birth defects if you're like pregnant or whatnot. And they give it to their horse because their horse gets really like marish when she's in heat and like gets really like cranky and is a pain in the ass and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, like if that chemical is strong enough and potent enough to like give me infertility, or like if I was pregnant cause my child birth defects, like I would not be giving it to my horse, that's for sure. There's no way. I can't imagine that's good for them. But I've never given my horses chemicals like that. Or I know a lot of people that do like the feed, it's like a feed-in fly repellent. Like you feed it to your horse and it comes out in their poop, so the flies like aren't as attracted to the poop or whatever. And I looked it up, and they say it's like mostly natural because it's like garlic and whatnot, but I've looked at more ingredient lists and there's like some other chemicals in there too, so I've never fed them any of that type of stuff like a lot of people do. But I've just never really been interested in that. I don't feel comfortable like feeding chemicals into my animals, you know what I mean? I've never gotten like injured horses. Like my horses have never gotten really hurt. They've gotten like small injuries here and there, but honestly I've never had a horse like get seriously injured. I think the biggest injury I've had with my horses is when BB got that puncture up her jaw. Like that's the biggest thing I can ever remember of my horses being hurt. Like they just never have gotten hurt. But I know people that have hurt horses all the time, or their horses are always lame. I've never had any of my horses go lame, and I've never had any of them get an abscess. One of the a ranch that I used to work at, that most of you guys know about, it seemed like their horses had abscesses all the time. Like every week a different horse would have an abscess in their hoof. But this place never picked out the horse's feet. Like I don't ever recall seeing them pick out a horse's hoof unless the farrier was there or they were limping or something. But I've never had my horses get abscesses, ever. Used or owned spurs. So I'm pretty natural horsemanship. I don't use bits or spurs, and I've never owned them. I've never put a pair on my boots for any reason ever. I know a lot of people that use them, even English, they use them, and I don't really like them. and I've never been interested in using them. So I've never owned or used a pair of spurs. I've never shown my own horses. Now I have shown Starburst because most of you guys know her owner is usually pregnant during the summer. She's a surrogate mom, so she doesn't ride in the summertime, so I've been showing Starburst for her, but I've never actually taken my own horses to shows just because I've never really like been into showing. I've never been interested in showing. If you guys, I thought about making a video about that, like why I don't show, or like why I don't really have never shown. I'll make a video about it if you guys want to see that, but I've never taken my own horses to a show. I actually was going to take BB in rodeos this summer, but my local town is getting some country singer or whatever, so they canceled the rodeo for this year. I was like, that's the only reason half the town comes to the fair anyways, for the freaking rodeo. Now they're not gonna have it. So stalled my horse for more than 12 hours. So you guys know that I don't like stalls. I don't agree with stalling horses all the time, but you know, for a couple days or whatever, I think your horse will be fine. I just don't like when people stall horses for long periods of time. I have stalled my horses before, but never for like over 12 hours. Like I've done it like overnight, but not like, you know, extensive long periods of time. Taken my horses out of state. So I know a girl that her horse just like recently came up super lame, and they can't figure out what's wrong with him, so they had to take him clear to Wisconsin to like this college, this vet college or whatever, I don't even know. Or people go to shows out of state all the time, or trail riding and stuff. Honestly, I am a lazy piece of crap, and I have no interest in making a long ass haul and making my horses sit in a trailer for that long to go out of the state to ride. And I don't compete in shows, so I'm like not driven by competing or anything. So that is all the things that I've never done with my horses. I'm sure there's more, I just can't think of any right now. But yeah, I thought this video was kind of fun. So if there's something you think of that you've never done with your horse before that it seems like everybody does these days, leave it down below. And yeah, so I thought this was fun. So leave any video requests down below also, and I will see you guys later. Bye.